morning, Cyber. I know, like, almost half of you, I think. Um, I am a sign language interpreter. I started just like you guys are, probably most of you. I started just with an interest in sign language when I was in about 5th or 6th grade. My parents taught me sign language. And after that, because there were no classes available back in the Stone Ages when I was in high school to take sign language classes, I had to wait until I was taking my art classes. I decided to I knew that again credit, so I took ASL 1 with the stuff sweat. Retired. And she was an awesome teacher, and she just pushed me and told me that there was reason I was taking electoral legal, so I said, okay, well, I'll take ASL too then. I had no designs on being an interpreter. I that didn't really work out so well, but I did finish the ITT program and started working actually here at Mott, working classes here, and then I went on to mainstream interpreting in the middle school setting for one best student, and that student actually left that school with MSD, so my job there ended. And for a while, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I knew I wasn't going to make it as an artist. So I started doing regular jobs, like regular hearing jobs that I hated and would come home crying from because they were so boring. But then I was fortunate enough to be able to start freelancing. Eventually, I worked full-time for, at the time, SSHI, which is now CAC. And after that, the interpreter at MSC retired. The school said, hey, you've got a position open. I said, nah, I'm good. I like my job at CAC. I work with people. I, get to do all kinds of different things. And they said, well, we get summers off. And I heard this little echo in my head was summertime. And so I decided to give that a shot. And this is the beginning of my 7th year there. I absolutely love it. So that took way less than an hour. Questions? Yes, I do have deaf friends. I did not know a deaf person until I started taking classes here at Mott, however, so I didn't have that influence. None of my family was deaf, never met a deaf person, but since I've been in the community now for quite a while, I've met several. A lot of the teachers at my school are actually deaf. I don't know if you guys have that, but I'm very close with some. You want their names, phone numbers? I don't know. Yes. Yes. Okay. I actually met one night. I met she used to be the director at the Whiting, and we met at a social function. And she was telling me, actually, it was after I had just interpreted the vagina monologues at U of M. And she came up and talked to me afterwards and told me, what her job was. And she said she was really interested in having interpreters provided at the Whiting without having to have a deaf person ask for it. She just wanted to, have the shows be accessible to deaf people in the community. And so I said, I'm your girl, what can I do? And so since then, I think this will be our 3rd or 4th season where myself and my friend Teresa Hill, have done several shows there. We did 12 the first season, and then we did 6 last year. We're scheduled to do 4 this year. But of course, if a deaf person wants to see a show that isn't publicized as being interpreted, all they have to do is request an interpreter. Do that show. This year, I can tell you what shows we're going to do. This Sunday is Jack Hanna, the Animal Guy. We're doing 1 musical this year, Grease. We are doing The Color Purple, and The Last Comic Standing, which I guess is a TV show. So those funny people are coming from it. I don't really know what that show's going to be about. I imagine that show's going to be very improvisational and really scary for us. Comedy is hard, and it's usually really fast. We did Sinbad last year, and I don't know if you watched Sinbad, but that got fast. And it was like, my God, am I 20 minutes up? Yeah, seriously, my arms are going to fall off. The Whiting is my, like, probably some of the shows, at least. The shows that, like the musicals, that's absolutely my favorite thing to do. And Teresa's too. We absolutely love it. We put in a good 20 hours of prep before we do a show. We fortunately get the scripts ahead of time. We get the CDs ahead of time. And depending on what kind of show it is, if there's any other information that they can give us about who's presenting or who's talking or who's singing or whatever, that we get our heads on that as soon as possible and start working on it. The year that we did 12 shows, I think we did 2 musicals within 2 weeks. So we had to do 20 hours of prep, memorize all of the songs for a show, and then the next day delete it from our heads and immediately start working on memorizing the show. I think it was Jesus Christ Superstar and I want to say The Wizard of Oz or something like that. So you really didn't want to mix the two up when you were up there because that would have been. So those are great. Avenue Q has been my favorite show so far. It's absolutely hysterical. Because they're still public. Let's see what else about the Whiting. They at the Whiting they reserve a whole section right in front is to if you're looking at the stage it's to the left. That whole section they reserve for they call them ASLC. So it's not only for deaf and hard of hearing people, but for students as well. And students get a discount to students. So if you show for observation hours or whatever, they give you a free discount. And you get to sit right up close, like you're probably looking right at my nose sometimes. So I'm sorry about that. But so they're really good about being accessible to people, which is wonderful. You know, I was thinking about that this morning when I was thinking about what I was going to talk with you guys about, and I've actually never even seen a shadow interpreted performance. I would love to. It seems like that would be it would be a big time commitment because I'm pretty sure you pretty much are there for all the rehearsals and all that. I'm not sure how I could get the current schedule, but it's something that I would certainly like to do in the future.
I saw her here this semester. And in talking to her, she said herself it was up to the club. And she said she herself and other practice with people.
Oh wow.
So I think they show up really happy.
Oh yeah, I would love to see it. I would love to I'll see it first and then I'll see if I really want to do it. But it sounds like it would be awesome. But there's a Tom Sawyer or Upton or something like that that was purposely done half deaf, half I think, so they had deaf people on stage too. So awesome! Thank you for asking. That's part of the the perk of summers off. Summers off, yeah. The beauty in that is because I also freelance. The beauty of that is being able to say, well, I don't know, where do you want me to go? No, you know what? I think it's gonna be nice out that day. I'm not gonna do that job, but call me when it's raining. So we had a great summer. We went to Colorado for a week. Saw a concert at the Red Rocks. Absolutely the coolest place you could ever see a show. Red Rocks, if you can imagine. They're just naturally there. And they built the theater right inside of it. So I said jokingly to friends after we left, I was like, I don't care who it is, John Tesh, Britney Spears, I'll come see anybody here. That's not who I went there to see originally. Yeah. The string cheese incident. We just went, maybe we've heard of something. Okay. We also, while in Colorado, drove on the highest paved road in North America, which is actually 14,000 something. If you've ever been to mountains that high up, it's really a cool experience. It's very difficult to breathe because the air is so thin, and after 10 steps, my boyfriend and I were both like breathing like this because it was that the air is so thin up there, and you're in the clouds, especially on that day. It happened to be rainy and cloudy that day, but you're literally at the clouds are blowing right through you. It's crazy. There's no trees that high up. There's little flowers and things, and we did see one critter. I'm not sure what it was, but it looked groundhogish kind of. It was like about this big, and